The RPO is set for 60 minutes. RTO is probably about the same. As long as, and your RTO would change depending on the recovery options you have. Your RTO, if you didn't lose your local backup server, is going to be a lot faster than the RTO if you did, and you have to go through us, or if you have to go, or if you have to download it. See it next. Now we have our compression and encryption options. So you can select standard or high compression. Standard compression is going to be about 50%. Of course, that varies about what type of server and the files on it. High is going to be an additional 15 to 20% on the standard. You can enter a password and encrypt the data. If you go to advanced, you can select the level of encryption, so 128-bit to 256. Our system, when you go off-site, already is going to encrypt the data at 256-bit AES locally. It's going to transfer over 128-bit SSL and then store an additional 1024-bit AES. So we are already doing this. This level of encryption is required for HIPAA compliance. So if you're running healthcare records, you do need to have your local backups encrypted, so you would come in here and do that. For others, the advanced options are kind of nice because it gives you these different commands. Commands can be used for a number of things. Most commonly would be to script out database start and stop times. So for the most part, we have customers who have proprietary databases. So we use VSS, and that's going to cover 90% of the databases we have to back up, and which means that we can back them up while they're open. Now, there are going to be proprietary databases that you all encounter that simply don't have their own VSS writer, and you got to shut them down or stop them before you can get a full backup, or you'll be at risk of losing information. So you want to make sure that you know what those are, and if you do, then you can just write a quick script and then you can put it in here. So pre-snapshot, I want you to close my old Mass90 accounting software. Post-snapshot, go ahead and start it back up again. Post-backup, you might as well just restart the whole machine. Whatever you want to do. So it's a nice little flexible part that you can do, a little throwback for some of you too. Splitting the image, if you have a large image, it may be valuable to split it up into bigger chunks. So you can, let's say you have a terabyte image and 500 gigs is what's compressed down to. Maybe we want to switch it up into 10 or 100 gig chunks. It depends on what you want to do. So we need to say split the image. And that may help with process time. Because when we're encrypting data locally, it's a nonlinear algorithm, and it can take additional time to really get that through. So splitting this up into additional chunks could help with speed. As file size increases, time to process increases dramatically. This could help you get through that. But it, of course, varies environment to environment. And I'm sure there are other options there as well. So at next, gives us a summary. We hit finish. Then it's going to go ahead and run on a schedule. Well, now that we've got the image-based backup running, we want to take it off-site. So we go to image streaming, or what's called the Online Backup and Recovery Manager. So we have this. Now you want to say, okay, let's set up the online backup. And we have the F drive is our backup drive. So I would just check box this whole thing and say, I want to back up everything in here. Right? Then you hit, you can explore. Windows Explorer view, very familiar. You click on the file name, you see what's in it. The square means that something in this directory is selected for backup. The checkbox means everything in this directory and everything that will be added to this directory will be backed up. So great. You hit that, hit next. You can schedule the backup at the end of the wizard or not. Backup automatically without user intervention. That just means running on a schedule. And running on a schedule is nice because you can go to the Windows Task Scheduler and you can put some additional parameters on it if you don't want it to run for too long. If you want to have different items around it, Really pretty simple. A common one for usually file and folder backup systems is to stop the task if it runs longer than 12 hours. That way you can guarantee that if you're running a backup on someone's workstation, the backup is going to run between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. and not run into their business day. So you can also have email reports sent in here, so you put your email address in here and you get an alert when the backup runs. For your laptops and your desktops, you may run it every couple of hours, so every 1 hour. Usually every 3 hours is going to be enough. 1 hour certainly gives you a nice RPO, but I find that typically a bit overkill. Or you can run it daily, or weekly, or monthly. But daily is going to be more common for your server environment. So the environment where we're running image-based backups off-site, we're going to be running it daily and running it at night. So let's finish. Now the backup's going to run. And here we are seeing that information. That's it. So now the backup's pretty much completed, and now it's just closed, and now the backup done. So we get it off-site. How do we restore it? We can come to Restore View. We come through the wizard. What's nice about this is we have this calendar view. It's going to refresh. It's going to show you all the different days that you can refresh back to. So if I go back to February, let's say February 9th, and I hit Next, it gives me this list of machines. Let's go back even further. Let's go back to January 4th and see what we have there. Okay, so we have, 1, 2, 3, it's about 7 machines here listed. I can select the information in each of them. I can expand it, see what's on here. That's pretty much it. I check box what I want to recover. So if I don't want that, I can just get the drive, or I can just get the file. However I do it, you hit Next, and you would tell it where you want it to recover. If I go back, and let's go back to today's, and that just refreshed the entire backup set to what it looked like at that point. So now you go back to today's backup set and see what it looks like now. Now I have all these additional machines. I open this up, open up the F drive, and now we see I have a whole list of different image files that I've backed up since then. I actually prefer to go through the classic view for this because I can see a little bit more. So I go to classic view, expand this out. That way, if I come in and I want to see, specific versions of files or whatever it is, I can see that a little more easily. Now, with images, you're never going to see an additional version of an image. An image and an incremental are going to be unique and newly added files, which is why they're never cached. Caching is how we do our delta level backup. So we do a block level incremental backup, known as a delta backup. That differs from a file level incremental backup in that an incremental backup is inherently or assumedly at file level. So we say, okay, these files have changed, these files have not changed, back up the ones that have changed. Leave the other ones alone. Block level goes a whole other step further and it says, okay, this file's changed. What about this file has changed? And that's great for larger files if you're backing up a PST file. And just think about it as the unit of measurement. There's so many cups in a pint, pints a quart, quarts in a gallon. So many bits in a byte, bytes in a block, blocks in a file. That's how we go about that. So you just select this and hit recover and point to where you want to go. If you want to recover from the image, you can either go to the recovery location and you can just right-click one of these and just mount it, or quick mount. And then it's going to ask us, okay, this is the one we want, hit next, and then go. It'll create it for us. I'm going to backup job 15. So let's just go through the wizard. And go back to the wizard. I'm going to go to Explore Backup. Restore means you're going to need a boot disk, and it's more for starting from scratch. But Explore Backup is much more common because you can just recover an image as a virtual drive. So let's say I go into my backup jobs, and I'm going to select this one. It gives me a summary. I hit next. And it shows me, okay, this backup job has a lot of incrementals. Which one do you want? It's like, well, let me go to the most recent, incremental 64. So I hit next. What do you want to name the drive that we're going to create here? Well, let's name it drive W. And we're going to make it not as read-only because we want to work from it. So we'll hit this. We'll hit next. So here's the file chain we were talking about. You hit finish. There's a lot of questions coming in, and I'm going to get through this demo real quickly, and then we'll get to those. So thank you all for the questions. So Exchange, so here's the drive. It's Exchange data on this drive because it was an Exchange volume we backed up. So now let's go into our Exchange granular recovery agent. So we're going to take this and we're going to open up first the EDB file we just recovered. So I go back to my computer. I go back to drive W, which is what we just recovered. Open up Exchange, mailbox, mailbox, and there's my mailbox Exchange database file, or EDB. I hit open. Log file path. It automatically assumes this. If you need to change it, you can. Hit OK. Then this top left section titled source, that's where it's going to show, okay, what did you just recover? This is what we had to recover. Then you have some recovery options. All right, do you want to recover this to a PST file? That's more typical in electronic discovery. So things like legal matters, mergers, IP, proof, whatever it is. More commonly, you're going to open up an existing Exchange server. So we're going to say, okay, let's click to all the mailboxes. This is my domain. Here's the server name. Great. Okay, okay. This is going to authenticate based on the Windows user I'm currently signed in as. So hit close. Now it's going to show me my Exchange information. So let's have a common scenario. User 1 comes into your office or emails you and says, hey, I'm looking for this attachment. It's very important. It's called management something or other. And I got it sometime in the last 5 or 6 months, and I cannot find it. Can you find it for me? Okay, sure. So we expand user 1 stuff, and we just hit the search function. And we hit OK. We verify, okay, yeah, we're just searching the user 1. And he said it's an attachment he's looking for, and it's called management something or other. So we'll type in management. It is in the last 5 or 6 months, so we can specify that or not. I'm just going to leave it blank and just say find now. And that comes all these mails. So let's say, okay, let's open this up. For our discussion, you'll find the Nortel Management User Manual attached. Great. That sounds about right. Is this the right one? And he says, yeah, it is the right one. So we say, wonderful. We're going to close that, and we're going to open up his inbox currently, and we just drag and drop the message right into his inbox. Done. Or we could shift select all these and drag and drop. Or let's say we want to see everyone who's gotten this management guide. We can just select everything, hit Find Now, and now we see in everyone's mailbox who's gotten this attachment. That's simple. You can save the report. You can do file word exclusion. You can search in the body, the subject line, attachment. Really granular and powerful stuff here. It doesn't just do individual mails, calendar invites, or contacts. It also does full mailbox recovery. So if you just wanted to drag and drop this in here, you could do that. Or you could just take the whole EDB file and move it to a new piece of hardware. So let's just move hardware. Say OK. As I say, do you want to move mailboxes and create them that haven't been created already? Absolutely. Saves you a step or two. So that's really nice. So just a real intuitive, real powerful system in our EGR client. And that is the ServerSafe demo. Any questions on any of that information? All right, here's a couple other questions. One, can SOS's system do incremental backups of an Exchange or SQL database, or will it require a full backup each time a backup occurs? No, I think the demo probably answered that question. It's doing incremental backups. And another question from Camille, I can change Acme to say my company name, right? Yes. This portion here and this logo section here is what we're going to be changing for you. Then again, one part is the web integration package. So we have, this is the front part of the web integration package. Let me go to the main dashboard. Oops. So I come into this dashboard, and this is what you're all given. So the dashboard is including a couple of different pieces. So we have, your resource update, update the news that's going to alert you as to, what's going on. If we release new stuff, do we have any contests, promotions, whatever it is. And then below you have, different items. So online backup and recovery details, central management details, server backup details as far as managing your licenses, very simple to use. This is actually going to link us in the back of our web integration package. So if we go to our web integration package, this is actually let me minimize this for you so you can see a little bit better. If we open this up and view the site, this is actually the front-facing site of the web integration package that you'll all be getting. The web integration package, again, as I minimize things along the side here, gives us the ability to, one, do some admin settings. There's updates that we issue out all the time. We recommend checking on that, every other week or so. We have different global settings you can do, different payment gateways. You just plug in your account, your gateway account information, and then you're ready to start collecting money. We have a really nice mailer, subscription-based. You go through and you can see, how many subscribers you have. You can import subscribers with a simple CSV file, first name, column, second name, email, and then you can select them to a group and start sending mass emails. Sending mass emails is great, but being able to take a look at this is really wonderful. Well, looks like I need to update my Flash. Okay, well, this is going to take me to the Flash site, so I'll do this later. Oh, now I've gone into it. Okay, so the mailer gives you statistics as far as bounce emails, open rate, click-through rate, email sent, unsubscribed rate. You can do the reporting based on time frame, subscription group, or campaign-specific group. So it's really nice to be able to market out to your clients or new potential clients and have a tool to help you do that. Support ticketing system, really basic support ticketing system. You can control the different statuses. You can control the different categories of support tickets, so whatever you want to do. Your users can submit these to you directly. The content system, again, really nice CMS. Here's the home page. We go to view. Lets you reset your SEO, your title, your keywords, your meta description. So again, your title is what shows up in like a Google search, and then the description is what shows up right below the URL in that Google search. And then the keywords are how you get onto that Google search. So again, your SEO stuff right here, ready to go. Main position, come and edit this, and you get a nice little WYSIWYG editor. And this is really nice for those of you who don't have a lot of resources or time to spend in web development or web design. You don't need the experience, or if you do, you have some more advanced functionality behind it. But for the most part, what you see is what you get, the WYSIWYG. So here's the content editor, and here's what it looks like live. So again, pretty simple to do. There's a file manager in here, really simple, really good. And also, if you come to this website, managedonlinebackup.com, so I'll put this in the chat, you can download today's program deck right here, program deck. You can also download our Success with SOS, example, business continuity plans related to the sample risk registry, which makes more sense if you attend our partner webinars. disaster studies, recorded trainings, other stuff. So this is just a sample site, but we put some good things on here for you. So again, you have all that. You have coupon codes, so you can set coupons that can, they can be at a percentage discount or they can be at a fixed dollar discount. You can limit the code usage by number of uses or by date. So you can give month-end specials or date-specific specials or time-limited specials. You can give like first 100 user specials, so like 100. You put that in there. So the first 100 users are going to get a 50% discount. The idea would be you'd be generating more interest, so it gives you some flexibility there. You can set the currency, as was a question earlier, so USD, GBP, Euro, Australian, Canadian. You can view the plans and you can set their pricing, so you have control over that. You can come in here and edit what the title of the plan is. So server 20 gig monthly, gold package offer. You can make it active or inactive. You can change the way it displays. Very simple to do there. Then you have your backup users table. So your backup users table gives you a list of users. You can view actions. You can view the details on the specific user. You can edit their contact information. You can upgrade their account without billing them for it or billing them outside the system. You can cancel their account, reset their password, change their email address. I get to view details. Give you a little more information like purchase history. So they first signed up on the 8th of February last year for $240, and they upgraded the same day to $360. They've used their account not at all. You can see their account information, so secret question and answer in case they forget that, contact information, and then the general information. And that's the web integration package. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give out the Kindle code for today's webinar. So the Kindle code is K379Z, as in Z. Now I'll type that in the chat. So call into your partner specialist. Again, I'll put the number up on the screen here. So call up your partner specialist at 877-896-3611. Again, you give them this code K379Z. And they'll enter you into the Kindle drawing, and it'll be announced. The winner will be announced next week. And they'll also schedule a time with you to run through a very specific ROI. And we have a couple of existing partners on here who could probably attest to how great that is for them, because that'd be something you'd have to do on your own. Our partner specialists, their goal is to properly place IT service providers into our partner program. If the program doesn't make sense for you, I mean you're not going to make any money from it, then it doesn't make sense for you to come on board. So they're going to work with you to see, what level of the program you should come in on and what's appropriate, and then you can make that decision. Steve asks, where is the list of places the seed upload can be done from? If you go to our knowledge base, so I'll type it in, kb.sosonlinebackup.com, and to search PMU, and it'll give you instructions on how a data seeding works in our system due to our security. And it can be done from anywhere. The idea is that you're taking advantage, that you're in an environment that does not have dedicated hardware and or a fast connection, and that you're going to do the initial backup from an environment with a dedicated machine and a fast connection. All right, any questions? The summary is SOS Server Save. It's pretty much what you need and a backup solution. And that's what's going to get you out there. So thank you all for your time today. We look forward to having you on board, those of you who come on. And again, my name is Derek Wood. I'm the Partner Product Manager here at SOS, and we look forward to having you out. Thanks, and having a good one.